One thing I noticed was so you mentioned two, three times that if we take the gospel account seriously, could you maybe
Yes.
elaborate on that a little bit? I didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, I just want to highlight that I'm not saying that the gospel accounts are necessarily unreliable, but also it's not like the gospel accounts are an historical document per se, right? So I do think that there's a lot of valuable information about Jesus and his movement in the gospel accounts. I do think so. But I also don't think that you can just take the gospels at face value and say this is exactly how it happened, right? And that's true for any ancient source. Say the same thing for Josephus, for that matter, who actually did intend to write a history. And the thing about the gospels is that um, the earliest of the gospels, which is thought to be Mark, right, is believed to have been written somewhere around the year 70 AD, either a little before or a little after, depending on who you follow. And then the other gospels are later than that. And Jesus, of course, would have been crucified, let's say, somewhere around 33. So, I mean, the gospels aren't actually written down until something like 40 years or more after Jesus's death. And so you also have that time lag. They're not necessary, even though some of the information may go back to the time of Jesus, they're not written down, apparently. They're not composed, right? Until, 4 decades after the death of Jesus. And so then you have that question again of, well, how accurate, is the information? Is it all accurate? Some of it accurate? What part of it is accurate? Right. So I actually do think there's a lot of valuable information in the Gospels, but when I say if we take that seriously, then certain information I think can be taken seriously and is reliable, but not necessarily all of it, right? And it depends on what particular points. And again, it's just like evaluating any ancient source. By the way, same thing today. If we're depending on where you get your news from, right? So how much of the news is reliable or not, or how much of it is being presented in a certain way, right? So you can have news that's reliable, you can have information that's reliable, but it can be presented with a spin. So it's the same thing with ancient sources.